everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Baratang and this is my platform with Baratang. Today I bring to you another episode of Adulting 101, and today's episode is titled How to Clear Your Debt. I am joined by Sinikiwe Ngcobo, also known as Mom and All. She was with us on our previous episode, and this time around she's here to tell us how to clear our debt. So I know that debt is necessary in some occasions, but sometimes you find yourself carrying that burden for longer than anticipated, or at larger amounts than you had originally meant to. So how will you be helping us today with managing our debt and eventually clearing our debt?
So one of the first things that we must start and understand is that debt, it eats up your cash flow, because it means that whatever money you have for today has to meet today's needs and now basically the needs of yesterday, because you created that need. And now when there's this constant cash flow, it's not good for you, because it means now you can't save money, you can't do as much with your money can't go as far as you'd like it to go, because it needs to now first honor those commitments. So first things first is, if you're not in debt, try not to get in. But life happens and then we get into debt for various reasons. So now, one of the best ways to clear debt, there's two ways that I like to usually discuss. It's the debt Avalanche Method and the debt Snowball Method. And basically with the two methods, what happens is it's methods of paying off your debt quicker, because obviously if you just pay your debt as they come, as they're due, then you just pay your debt. But if you want to pay your debt quicker, you keep paying your minimum payments on all your debts as they are, and then you pay a little bit more. But how do you decide where do you put more? That's where these methods come in. So now with the Snowball Method, you list your debts according to which one has the biggest balance. So which one do you owe the most in, and then the least. Then you start with the one, the one you owe the least, and then you continue with your list until you have the one that you owe the biggest balance. So this means now you try to pay off the smallest balance first. Make sure that you just finish it off. Maybe you owe 250 Edgars or whoever. You're just like, okay, this one I can pay off with whatever additional cash that you have. And then that's the Snowball Method. And then the Avalanche Method, it's kind of now that method of you list your debts, but it's according to the one with the highest interest rate, because you now want to avoid paying such high interest. So you then, whatever excess cash you have after paying your minimum payments, you then channel it towards paying off the one with the highest interest rate. So now the thing with these two methods is that mathematically, if you're paying off the one with the interest, it means that you're paying less money out at the end of your loan terms, because you've been avoiding this high interest. But the nice thing about the Snowball Method is that you get to kill off debts quicker. For example, if you've got 250 left over, but you owe 100 Rand to Foshini and 150 to Edgars, you can just channel the 250 to both, and then now you owe less people, because it's easier. Or I'm sure if I was to be like, do you want to owe 10 people 10 Rands each, or do you want to owe 100 Rand to one person? It's probably easier to just owe 100 Rand to one person. So that's what then the Snowball Method does. It just takes away that stress of owing so many people, because you keep eliminating them one by one.
Okay, and then a lot of the reasons why people get into more debts than they already have is because they don't necessarily budget, and within their budget they don't include something that is called an emergency fund. What is the importance of an emergency fund?
So an emergency fund is so crucial, because some of the times we get into debt because we don't have an emergency fund. For example, we end up swiping your credit card or going into an overdraft because you don't have an emergency fund for when your money runs out. So it's important to have a budget, because then that shows you income, expenses, and then you see how much is left over or how much you still need more if you end up being like, on the negative side, then you kind of try to increase your income or reduce your expenses and manage your money like that. But now the emergency fund basically helps you in terms of emergencies, so that you can deal with emergencies instead of just relying on debt when emergencies creep up. And an emergency fund, we usually say, needs to be around 3 to 6 months of your living expenses. So when you do a budget, however much you pay or spend, the outgoing, 3 times of that. That's how much you need to try to save up as your emergency fund, so that you can kind of insure yourself for the future.
Okay, that makes sense. So the first advice that you gave everyone is that try to not create debt for yourself.
Yeah.
Is there any other advice you'd like to give to South Africans? Because we know that as a country, we are in a lot of debt.
Yeah. Try to eliminate debt, and usually with debt it comes from lifestyle creep sometimes, where you see your neighbor, Baratang is driving a nice car now, I feel like I must also drive a nice car, or so and so is doing this, I want the latest phone, the latest this. Try to keep away from that. Don't try to keep up with the Joneses. Just own lane, own pace, so that you don't end up getting into debt. And then just try to live within your means, have a budget, and if it's too tight, then try to increase your income. Side hustles are a thing now. People are pushing side hustles, so maybe try to find a side hustle, and if not, then try to reduce your expenses and maybe try apply for a better job, something that will just increase your income. But basically, don't keep up with the Joneses, own lane and own pace.
Thank you so much, Sinikiwe, for all the information you've given us in this video. Sinikiwe is on YouTube and on Instagram. On YouTube, you can find her. She is Sinikiwe Ngcobo, and on Instagram she is at @momandall_. So if anyone wants to contact you, where can they find you outside of social media?
Okay, so you can email me on info@momandall.com, and then you can just let me know. We can chat if you need a financial coaching session where we can devise a plan for you, because you might find that these 2 methods, the Snowball and the Avalanche, might not be the best methods for you. Then we can explore other methods that you can pay off your debt, or you want to start budgeting. I actually have a budget template. So maybe we can leave a link for people at the bottom, then they can download it, or they can just email me, then I can send it to them.
Okay, well, definitely do that. It would be very helpful, especially as a young person. We do not want young people to get misled and end up in these situations where they need to be taken out of things such as debt. We have seen it happen to people who are close to us. Let us not make those mistakes as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me. We have now reached the end of the video. Don't forget to like this video, to comment, to share with your friends and your families, and also to subscribe on both our channels. Also follow me on my social media platforms. It is @Baratang on Instagram, Twitter, and on Facebook. I will see you again next week with a different video. Thank you so much for watching.
Cheers.
Bye.